Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Sigam, and I've been a beta tester in Age of Empires Mobile from the very beginning, close to 6 months now, and I've learned most of the ins and outs of this game. I'm currently the number 1 in military power in Age of Empires Mobile as well. Now I know it sounds like a Rise of Kingdoms advertisement, and a bad one at that, but I promise you it's not.
The secret is...
In this video I'll be sharing you some of my tips and advice, as well as mistakes to avoid for a better start in Age of Empires Mobile. It's only 1 month now until the game goes global, so hopefully this guide will provide you with enough insight to get a head start. I will also focus on some key aspects of the game and explain them to you in detail, especially the hero skill system, which is vastly different from Rise of Kingdoms or Call of Dragons if you come from these games. Now, whether you're just starting or looking to optimize your strategy once the game is released on October 17th, take notes and feel free to ask any questions you may have in the comments below. From generic tips to in-depth advice regarding heroes, building, technologies and much more, honestly, we have a lot to go through, so let's get started. Before diving into more complicated stuff such as buildings, events, heroes and stuff, let's talk a bit about the UI and some of the things that Age of Empires Mobile does very well, which is tracking your resources. So you can see at the top you've got your resources, pretty simple: wood, food, stone and gold. And Age of Empires Mobile actually has a really helpful menu where you can keep track of your speed ups and resources. So you go to your inventory at the bottom right here, and you click on this icon right here, okay? And here you can see your resources, your custom resource chest, your stamina. You've got everything basically. You don't have to calculate anything. The game does it for you. You also have the speed ups tab, which includes your total speed up, so you don't have to do maps or anything. It's all in there. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, which I like. So that's really helpful. Keep track of this. It's always nice to know what resources you have. Another thing I like about the UI is that you can see pretty easily how many of your friends in your alliance helped you doing a research or building a building. Like here, for instance, you can see I click on this house and I can see 25 out of 25, so I know everyone helped me, so if I want to use any speed ups, now I know I can. You also have this really helpful tab here, which is the queues management. You've got the construction queue management, the training queue, the logistics queue, which includes the healing as well, and the forge queue. So you can keep track of anything really simply here and see how many days you have left for any research or building you're upgrading. One last thing about the UI, head to the world map and you can see pretty easily how many teleports you have. In Age of Empires Mobile you can teleport around the map, with either purple teleports or blue teleports, the difference being that blue teleports are only usable on your alliance territory. And one thing that many people don't know even now, months into beta, is that you actually get 3 teleports once every 48 hours, up to a maximum of 2. Of course, they're not giving you infinite teleports. Use these every time you can, basically. They're free, and you will save a lot of Empire coins not using targeted relocators. So that's pretty much it. One last thing, which is kind of something I would say as a moderator. If you have anything to report about the game, any problem and stuff, most people don't know this exists, but there is a customer service in-game. So head to your profile, head to settings, bottom left, click on customer service, and click on contact us. And here you can submit any issue you have. Please do so every time you encounter a problem. That will help the game fix issues. Now on to generic tips. One of the first things you have to do in Age of Empires Mobile is choose a civilization. So we only have 4 for now. There will be 8 on release, with Korea and Japan being confirmed now. But for now you only can choose 4. So we have Romans, Byzantine, French and Chinese. So which one would be the best early on? Romans is focused on pikemen and healing speed, so we don't really care about that early on. Byzantine is focused on siege damage and stone gathering, which is kind of specific. French is focused on cavalry defense, resource exchange rate, and gathering troop defense. And Chinese is focused on archer defense, villager capacity, and walls durability. So Chinese is definitely the best early on, I would say, because of that villager capacity. In Age of Empires Mobile, you can actually assign villagers to buildings to get bonus to your production, for instance. So I would definitely suggest Chinese as a starter. As you can see, they are teasing unique units, but they are not in-game yet. They will definitely add them, but it's not scheduled yet. And now another thing that I want to mention, and that I would advise you to do, is join their social media. Join Age of Empires Mobile social media. You can go to the Event Center tab right here at the top right, scroll down and go to Join Now. And you will see, so they have a Facebook, Discord, etc. The first thing is that you will get rewards by doing so. You will actually get Empire coins by joining their social media, so I would advise you to do so. And joining the Discord server will let you participate in community events to get further rewards. You will be able to provide feedback to the team. And I'm a moderator right there, so if you have any questions, you can stop by and ask anything. Another thing you should do early on is go to the Friends tab and add friends. So what this will do, of course it's nice to have a big friend list, right? But you can actually give gifts and collect gifts from your buddies in-game, and that will give you a good amount of food, which you really want to have early on. Now obviously Age of Empires Mobile is not like the classic RTS games. This one is really focused on the social aspect, so one of the first things you should do in-game is actually join an alliance. The game will actually advise you to do so during the main storyline quest. But if you want to be ahead of the, the main storyline quest, you can actually click on this icon right here. Being in an alliance will allow you to reduce your building and research speed. You will be able to get exclusive events, rewards as well, the Trojan turmoil, stuff like that. You'll be able to participate in large-scale PvP events. You'll be able to get tons of bonuses from the exclusive technology trees, as you can see here. And of course, there's all the social aspect of being in an alliance, making friends, buddies, and doing diplomacy with other alliances, attacking cities together and whatnot. So, friends and alliance, right? There's also some things you have to do by yourself. One of the most important things to do daily is to actually do your daily quest. So click on that. You actually have three tabs. And the daily quest, as you can see, consists of many quests you have to do daily. Every one of them are worth some points. And once you get to 200 points, you get the final chest. And as you can see, you can get legendary arrival recruitment token. You get training speed ups, you get forge blueprints, you get gems. So it's really important to do these daily. You get tons of resources and rewards. Do not miss that, definitely not. Talking about recruitment token, there's a building called Tavern where you can recruit heroes. So let's head to that. Let's click on recruit. And as you can see, it's pretty straightforward. You only have two tabs for that. These are for epic heroes, and these are for legendary heroes. I have one of these tokens right here because I did my daily quest. You can actually recruit, so let us do that. And as you can see, you can get speed ups, resources, so it's really important to do it whenever you can. You can see on the prize pool, I have a chance to get a few heroes or just medals, as well as skill XP, speed ups, resources. And you actually get a free roll every 8 hours, I think. So always do that free roll whenever you can. While I'm at it, you can see close to the tavern I put my market. It's kind of strategic from me. You have this icon right here. It usually disappears whenever you finish training troops or constructing a building. So let's click on that. That's the market. And as you can see here, this merchant right here is selling me some stuff for resources. So this helps you upgrade your guard tower. It's kind of nice to get early on, so I would advise you to take them whenever you can. I would advise you to buy any XP tome you can get whenever they cost resource and if you are not lacking on resources. Skill XP as well is very valuable. As you can see here, you have speed ups, so these are only worth resources, as you can see. So I'm buying that, so 40k gold, I'm buying that as well. Really important to do. And I'm fine with blueprints. It's maxed out on my city, so I don't need that. But like I said, if you need it, buy it. Now onto the world map. You can see my troops are already gathering here, but basically in Age of Empires Mobile, especially early on when you need tons of resources because you will be upgrading stuff a lot, you will be researching a lot, you will be training troops a lot. So you need these resources. You need them a lot. So whenever your troops are free, send them gather resources every time you can. So you click on one of these resource tiles right here. You can see there's wood here, lumber camp. Click on that and you can send one of your armies there. You can see the load that your army can carry, the gathering bonus as well. So mine are already gathering, like I said, so I don't need to. And whenever you have stamina as well, you can see on the top left right here, you have a green bar. This is your stamina. So this means you can actually fight barbarian tribes, as they call it in Age of Empires Mobile. So you click on this icon right here. And you can see here I can either search for a specific tribe, which I will not do here, but you can also autofill battle. Let's click that. So what this means here is that I can send, for instance, my Miyamoto lineup fight as many barbarians as I want. So if I want him to fight 20 barbarians, I just have to click on auto battle and he will go and fight 20 barbarians. So this will consume stamina. Every tribe uses 5 stamina. So always use your stamina, you don't need it for anything else, early on at least. You could go and do explorations, but we'll talk about that later. Defeating tribes will actually reward you with resources, skill XP, alliance funds as well, and you get a specific reward every time you beat a new level. When you beat the level 1 barbarian, you will actually get a specific first completion reward. So doing this whenever you can is nice. Always try to do the maximum difficulty you can do before being stuck, of course. Now, on to more generic tips, right? So here you've got your military buildings. Stable, pikeman barracks, swordsman barracks, and archery range. So what you want to do here is always train your troops. As you can see here, mine are still under recruitment for 2 hours and 30 minutes. So following the same logic, you want your university researching technologies and your buildings being upgraded. So go to your queues management here, and as you can see, my workers are working and my training tab is full, and my logistics tab is full, my forge is full as well, so I have nothing to worry about here. Everyone's working in my city, so that's pretty nice. So you basically want 0 idle time, just like in classic Age of Empires, I would say. You want your workers to work, you want them to research, you want them to build, you want them to train troops. So always do so whenever you can. As a final note, I would say that in Age of Empires Mobile you don't need to make any farm accounts, because I know some of you guys actually do so in Rise of Kingdom, Call of Dragons and such. There is no need to do so in Age of Empires Mobile. The reason being that you cannot trade resources. You cannot send resource to someone else. So there's no need to have farm accounts for that. And what about pillaging, you would say? Well, there is a daily limit to the number of resources you can actually plunder every day. If you head to your warhol, you can see I have a 20 million looting limit every day. So there's no need to have multiple farm accounts where you would want to pillage unlimited resources, because that's not happening in Age of Empires Mobile. And 20 million is actually the maximum limit. It goes up with the warhol level, but we'll talk about that in our next chapter, which is buildings. Now that you have a rough idea on what to do daily and what not to miss and stuff, let's start talking about some core features. The first one being buildings. One important thing in Age of Empires Mobile is to have a plan early on, know what building to upgrade, and I will help you with that. First thing you should know, especially if you come from other kingdom builders, is that there is no need to have every single building at the max level to upgrade your town center. You actually only need to have a few buildings up to a certain level to meet the requirements for the town center to go to level 40. And as you can see, you actually don't need at all to upgrade everything. It's quite simple compared to other games to get to level 30, which is the max level. This should be the first building to prioritize upgrading. This is the building that helps raise the other buildings' maximum upgradable level. So you want the town center as high as you can every time. This is the top 1 priority, the town center. It also increases your army's troops capacity by a hefty amount as you level it up. So as you can see, you can get up to 40k additional troops in your armies. An important thing to mention is that when your town center hits level 12 and level 17, you actually get bonus hero slots in your armies. Now, in Age of Empires Mobile, your armies can hold up to 3 heroes, but you only get 1 before you hit Town Center 12. When you hit Town Center 12, you get 2 heroes, and when you hit Town Center 17, you get 3 heroes. So you want to hit that requirement as soon as possible. This should be your top priority in game. Get Town Center level 17 to get these 3 heroes, which will increase your troop capacity, because every hero adds an amount of troop capacity to your armies. So you will be able to gather more resources, you will be able to beat more tribes, you will be able to beat more levels in events and stuff. So Town Center 12 and 17 should be your top priority when you first start the game. Now the second building you want to upgrade is linked to your alliance, the Embassy. The Embassy is, in my opinion, the best building to upgrade after the Town Center. You should make it a priority. Basically every assist given by your alliance teammates reduces the building and research time in your queues. And like we mentioned really early in chapter 1, time is one of your main resources in game. So everything that reduces your research time or anything, you should get that. So as you can see, as you level up your embassy, you get more assist chances from your alliance, and every chance means 1% reduction time on your queues. So this should be your second priority after the Town Center. The third building you should upgrade at any time is the University, a fairly common building in Kingdom Builders. You should keep it as high as possible whenever you upgrade the Town Center as well, just like the Embassy. Upgrading your University will unlock new technologies, new unique tiers, and of course it will upgrade your overall research speed, so this is very valuable to get. We'll talk about the technology trees later. The next building to upgrade should be the Tavern. The Tavern allows you to get free recruitment tokens every few hours. As you can see, this cooldown is 24 hours early on, and it goes down to 8 hours at level 30. And of course, the other important thing about the Tavern is that it raises your hero's maximum level. When you start the game, your hero can only be level 20 maximum, and as you upgrade your Tavern, your hero can get up to level 120. So basically, you may be starting to notice some similarities here. Everything that saves you time basically is important. The next building is the Smithy. Once you get the possibility to build it, you want to upgrade it as fast as you can, because gear is actually a really important feature for heroes and quite free-to-play friendly at that. And as you can see, the more you upgrade it, the more it reduces the forging time. To give you an idea, at level 1 it takes 40 hours to forge a legendary blueprint, while at level 30 it takes 20 hours. So when you unlock that building, try to level it up if you can. Other than that, you should upgrade your military buildings. So barracks, archery range, stables, war hall as well. So why should you upgrade them? Let's take the stables for example. When you upgrade the stable, you get of course a training capacity bonus to cavalry. But what some people don't know is that you also get training speed bonus, but not only limited to cavalry. This training speed bonus is applied to all of your units, which means that if you upgrade all of your military buildings, you get an overall great training speed bonus. So you want to keep these up to level as you progress as well. These are quite important buildings. And finally, the War Hall. The War Hall increases the looting limit you can get daily by plundering resources on the world map. And it also increases your maximum rallied unit capacity, so you can hold bigger rallies if you want to attack or siege enemy cities or gates, passes, etc. Regarding economic buildings such as quarry, gold mine, houses, etc., you only want to upgrade one of them per category up to level 30. Now, why not 4 of them? I often see people upgrade 4 buildings to level 10, and once they are all to level 10, they upgrade these 4 buildings to level 15, and then once they are all level 15, they upgrade them to level 20, etc. You do not want to do that because you want to save resources. There is no need to upgrade these 3 other buildings unless it's the only thing you can upgrade, like in my case. You actually need to keep these other buildings as low level as you can, because some competitive events such as Alliance Glory will ask you to upgrade buildings in quests. So if you have one labor camp level 30 and the 3 other ones level 1, these are easy quests, easy points you will get during these competitive events. And you will have saved resources early on because there is no need again to upgrade all of these buildings to level 10, 15, 20. You only need one of them. This will also allow you to progress faster in the game as you are not upgrading useless buildings. And trust me, when you're up to the point of doing Alliance Glory events, you will thank me for these buildings. Now, 2 last tips. First one being you should assign villagers whenever you can. So houses give you villager capacity. So when you build houses and upgrade them, you get more villagers. As you can see here, you have the villager tab at the top. click on that. So you can assign villages. As you can see, I have 4 idle villages. You can assign them to your production camps. So I'm adding my idle villages to my farms, so I will get more production from my farms. And finally, last but not least, we talked about embassy and assists from your alliance teammates. This one is quite obvious, but if you want to speed up a building, you see here we have 2 days remaining of construction time. So if I want to speed this up, now I can, because here I have reached 25 out of 25. My alliance has been able to help me to the maximum of its ability. So now it's only me and my speed up times. Alright, that was the last building advice. Now let's talk about technologies. One of the best things I can say about technologies and the university is that you can actually upgrade your university and research at the same time, which is a big difference with other games. And trust me, this will save you days of waiting and days, if not months, of speed-ups. This is amazing, and I'm really glad that's into the game. And just like buildings, you want to reach the maximum capacity of herbs before spinning up any technology. Now onto actual technology tips. Head to your research tree. So you have 2 trees, one economy tree and one military technology tree. So there are 2 things you want to get early on, both from the economy and from the military tree. In Age of Empires Mobile, you can have up to 5 armies, but only 3 of them are unlocked early on. So you want to get that deployable troops 1 as soon as you can to unlock a 4th army. And right after that, you have deployable troops 2, which will allow you to have your 5th army. Get this as fast as you can. And then in the economy tree, what you want to get is research speed 1 up to 5 as fast as you can, because you will get a 5% research speed bonus, and like I said, everything that saves time in Age of Empires Mobile is valuable. Then you have research speed 2 that's a bit farther away, which will upgrade your research speed up to 7.5%. So you want to get research 1 right here and research 2 as soon as you can, and get it up to 5 out of 5. You have a research 3 as well, but it's kind of expensive to get. It requires a lot of time as well, so I would not advise you to do it unless you're a big spender and you have tons of speed ups to rush it, or if you want to participate in the Mightiest Governor event, for instance. But other than that, I wouldn't advise to get to research speed 3. Getting research speed 1 and 2 will save you tons of time on big technologies such as unique tiers, for instance. Another thing that's worth mentioning, just like the buildings where you don't need to upgrade every building to level 30 to get your town center to level 30, you actually don't need to upgrade your economy technology tree to get the maximum tier of units. So if you want to get to unit tier 7, all you need to do is actually unlock your military technologies. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Of course, you need to upgrade your university to unlock these tiers. But other than that, there is no need, absolutely no need to upgrade your economic tree. You could not touch this and you would still be able to get your troops to tier 7. Which leads me to another point. Just like buildings again, there is no need to upgrade every small economic research, because again, you don't want to waste time. This is not that useful. And again, in Alliance Glory events, which is one of the best events in the game, as it gives a tons of skill scrolls, which we will talk about later when we talk about heroes. You really want to have low-level technologies to upgrade later on for these competitive events and to get a good ranking. You will thank me later. Alright, now that we've mentioned tier troops and technologies and deployable troops and whatnot, now it's time to actually talk about troops. There's not much to say about troops, honestly, not many tips to give. The first one being that, just like the university, when you upgrade your military barracks, you can still train troops at the same time. So again, even when you're upgrading your military buildings, please continue training troops. This is really important for your progression. Now, when it comes to upgrading or training troops, some people wonder if it's better to upgrade from one tier to another, because you see here we have tier 1 units, and when you unlock tier 2 units, you can actually upgrade them from tier 1 to tier 2. But I would not advise you to do so, as when you are upgrading troops, you are not creating any new numbers to your army, which is something you don't want to happen. You want to add numbers, as many as you can, to your army size. lower tier units will always be useful anyway, so you'd better just create new ones rather than upgrading or promoting old ones. If you want to upgrade troops, there's actually a really good event for that, which is called the Mightiest Governor event, and which gives you valuable points by upgrading your troops and promoting them. So wait for the MGE if you really want to upgrade your troops. Other than that, just add fresh blood to your army. And now that this is settled, we'll finally be able to talk about heroes and skills. So, how do heroes actually work in Age of Empires Mobile? So heroes are kind of the key of your army. They are the ones that will define what type of damage they do, what unit they will take into battle, and you can have up to 3 of them in one army. So let's talk a bit about them. As you can see, the game helps us already a bit by defining us what type of troop they will be. So for example, Ranni will be a support hero with double attack skills, or at least she will be empowered by the double attack ability. And if we check out her skills, we will be able to see that indeed she has supportive skills. Now every hero, like I said, has troop types, which they are better paired with. In Ranni's case, she is better with archers and cavalry, and she actually will get a bonus if she is paired with these units. You don't want to go into the battlefield using Ranni and swordsmen in her army, for example. You want to send her to the open field with archers or cavalry. Now you see this icon here at the top. This is the military specialty. Every hero has a military specialty, so Ranni is warrior, as you can see. If I look at Bushra here, she is a marshal, and the third type of military specialty is tactician, if I can show you right here. Philippe is a tactician. Honestly, it doesn't really change much. The only thing you need to know is that pairing heroes with the same military specialty will give your heroes a big stat bonus of 30% for every hero you pair together with the same military specialty. So when you create your armies, you get to your army tab right here. And as you can see, I always pair heroes together with the same troop type and the same military specialty type. So here I have an army of martial pikemen. Here I have an army of tactician cavalry. Here I have an army of warrior archers. So if I were to change the unit type, I would lose the troop bonus. If I were to change the military specialty of one of my units, if I were to remove Attila, for example, I would lose this military specialty bonus. You can get up to 180% stat increase, which is big. Let's look at the attributes from our heroes: might, armor, strategy, and siege. So it's pretty simple, honestly. Might is basically when you increase the might of your hero, you will get a bonus to the might attacks of your heroes. When you upgrade the armor of your hero, you will get an additional resistance to might damage. Now strategy works a bit differently, as strategy includes both attack and defense. So upgrading your strategy will increase your strategy damage and will decrease the strategy damage you take, so really important attribute. And siege will only increase the damage on the durability of buildings, which means that if there is an army garrison inside a building, you will not get a bonus damage on these garrisoned troops. The siege stat will only increase the damage you deal to durability of buildings, which means that you need to defeat the garrison first before siege is actually useful. Which is kind of a shame, honestly. I would have hoped that siege would allow you to deal more damage to garrison units, but unfortunately that's not the case. Okay, so now that we've mentioned attribute, let's talk about how to actually level up our hero. There are 2 ways by which you can empower your hero. If you look at my Hammurabi, for instance, you can see he's level 80 out of 120, so I can still upgrade him. I can defeat tribes on the open field, but I can also use XP tomes, such as this one. And as you can see, I would need a big amount of these to actually get him to level up. To get your hero from level 1 to level 120, you actually need close to 80 million, I believe, XP, which may sound like a lot, but honestly you will get a lot while playing the game, so it's fine. The second way to upgrade your hero is by upgrading its stars and shards. As you can see here, I have 5 stars, each of them divided into 5 shards. So you have 5 ranks in total, each rank giving you a bonus of might, in Ranni's case. Rank 2 and 4 give you passive stats, so rank 2 gives you a damage increase, and rank 4 gives you a damage reduction bonus. Rank 1, 3 and 5 will give you unique passives and abilities that will upgrade your skills. So you need 5 shards to get 1 star every rank. So how do you upgrade these shards? How do you get them? For that you need hero medals like this. You can see I have 37 Rani medals. You can get them through different means depending on the hero. Rani is a hero that is kind of paywalled. You only get her through daily specials or through battle pass. But some heroes like Amurabi, for instance, you get him through the tavern. And how many of these medals do you need to upgrade your hero? It's kind of simple actually. I will not mention every shard, but I will add a picture on the screen so you can see exactly how this works. So basically, to unlock the hero, you need 10 medals. To get to rank 0 to rank 1, you need 20 medals. From rank 1 to 2, you need 50 medals. From rank 2 to 3, you need 100 medals. From rank 3 to 4, you need 150 medals. And from rank 4 to 5, you need 270 medals. That's a total of 600 medals. So as you can see, going to rank 3 actually only requires you to have 180 medals, so that's not many. Which means that you don't need that many medals to actually get your hero to be efficient on the battlefield. Especially since it's important to notice that unlike other games, some heroes are very strong after reaching their first star, which is the case for Tribhuwana, for instance. If you're like a free-to-play or low spender, you don't need to spend a lot to get her to 1 star. A rank 3 star is actually not that good, and a rank 5 star is good, but again that's a big gap between 1 and 5, so Tribhuwana is actually a very good hero to get at 1 star and not past that. If you look at Miyamoto, his 5th star is actually not that good considering the fact that it's a paywalled hero. On the other hand, he's got a very good 3rd star, so there's no need to upgrade him past that 3rd star if you don't want to spend a lot on him. So unlike some games where you need to upgrade your hero to its maximum ranking or whatever to be relevant in the battlefield, this is not the case in Age of Empires Mobile. Some heroes are actually very good at 1 star and don't need to be upgraded any further. It's also worth noting that you will not see any garrison specific units. Every unit is either a big DPS or a support, but there is no unit specifically assigned to garrisons. That does not exist in Age of Empires Mobile. Now let's take a look at skills. Every hero in Age of Empires Mobile has up to 4 skills. First one being the commander skill, second one being the signature skill, and 2 customizable skills. So let's stop at the commander skill for now. The commander skill is the primary skill of the hero, and it is only used on the open field by the commander of your army. So if I get back to my troops here, as you can see, I have 3 heroes in my army. One of them being the commander, which in my case is Miyamoto, he's got that small icon right here. And the 2 others are deputies or secondary heroes as you want. So the commander skill, like its name suggests, is only activated by your commander in your army, not by the secondary heroes. Now, the signature skill, just like the commander skill, it is unique to your hero. Signature skill are the most important skills for your heroes. They are usually what makes your hero really strong and what makes him so special. They are what will make your heroes lean toward the support side or toward the DPS side. They should be prioritized number 1. And then you have 2 customizable skills. It's important to say that the first slot of customizable skill opens at level 25 of your hero, and the second one opens when your hero gets to level 38, if I'm not wrong. So every legendary hero has 2 epic skills that are automatically unlocked and 4 legendary skills that you will have to unlock. As you can see, I haven't unlocked High Spirit, so I will need to unlock it using a special skill token. So obviously you cannot take these 6 skills into battle, you have to choose 2 out of them, which I like because that really adds more strategic depth to the game. So how do you upgrade this skill? So let's talk about the commander skill. The commander skill actually levels up automatically with the hero's level, so there is no need to invest anything into this skill. That leaves us to these 3 skills right here, the signature skill and the customizable skills. Let's talk about the customizable skills first. Just like heroes, you can level up either the stars of the skill or its general level. Let's have a look at that. So as you can see here, my skill Furious Charge is level 40. So that requires skill points, which I have up there. And now you can actually get them through events, through bundles, by doing tribes as well, etc. There are many ways to get skill points. These are really valuable, by the way. You don't want to spend them on the wrong heroes. And you can also increase their stars, just like heroes. The difference being that there are no shards. And you need these resources, legendary skill scrolls, which is hard to say for a Frenchman like me, I'm sorry. These are really valuable resources, and if you remember, I talked about the Alliance Glory event. You actually get these resources from the Alliance Glory event, so trust me, you will want to win it. As for the signature skill, you will see there are no stars here. That's because, and that's why the signature skill is so good, you only need to level up its level. The stars are basically included in the level. That's how good signature skills are. So this should be your top priority when upgrading and using skill points. Now that you know how these work, let me give you a few tips. Let's look at my cavalry troop. You can see here I have a purple skill, an epic skill on my Cleopatra. That's because, like I said, upgrading a skill requires skill scrolls. This is a rare resource, you don't get a lot of it. So you don't want to take legendary skills on every single hero, because that's costly, you need to unlock them, which not everybody can do, or it takes time. So by having at least one purple skill per army, you can actually upgrade 2 skills at the same time using 2 different resources. So you're saving time, you're saving resources, you're upgrading 2 skills at the same time instead of just 1, so you will get your army stronger. And it's worth noting that some purple skills are actually really good. If you're a spender, you can do just like I do, 1 epic skill per march. If you are not a spender, I would advise you to have 1 epic skill per hero, so that would be 3 epic skills per march. Another tip that is really valuable in my opinion to again save resources and use them wisely is how to use your legendary skill scrolls, or rather how to not use them. So if you look at this army right here, you can see I have 6 legendary skills. I know I didn't apply my own advice, but it is what it is. You can see every one of my skills are up to 2 stars, not more than that. Why is that? That's because it's actually more interesting to upgrade 8 skills to 1 star rather than having 1 skill up to level 5 stars. I will show you some examples. Peaceful Haven, for instance, it's actually more interesting to have low rank skills on every one of your heroes rather than having 1 hero with 1 rank 5 skill. You get the most value out of your scrolls on rank 1 and 2 of every skill. Above that, it's only optimization or the exception to the rules. Upgrade it to more than 2 stars if it's a skill that's worth it, or if it's your main army. That's all. Then about heroes, as you can see, you have hero gear. So you have 4 slots for the head, arm, torso and boots. So times 3, that's 12 pieces of gear per army. And that's something you will craft in the smithy we talked about earlier in the building chapter. So this gear is actually not that hard to get, and as you can see you can upgrade it. And just a small tip to say, just like the skills, you don't want to have 1 piece of gear level 80 and the rest being low level. I will show you on screen the difference between having 1 hero with 4 pieces of gear level 60 to 80 and the rest of your army having gear level 0, and 1 army having only level 20 to 40 gear but spread across your 3 heroes. You will see the difference is massive. You'd better have 12 pieces of gear level 20 rather than 4 pieces of gear level 80. And doing so will actually save your resources, give you more stats, allow you to be more efficient on the battlefield and do better in events, get more rewards, etc. And last but not least, we have the hero talents. So let's take a look at that, because people often ask me what they should or should not take. It's actually quite easy. So obviously the talent tree will differ quite a bit depending on if your hero is a support hero or a DPS hero. When it comes to talent trees, it's not about what you want, but what you want to avoid. You want to avoid things that do not increase your battlefield efficiency. For instance, the field battlefield XP is not that useful, you can get it early on. It's not that worth it, as you will not be able to defeat an infinite amount of tribes during the day since it's locked behind your stamina bar. I would also suggest to avoid getting anything related to the siege. Like I mentioned earlier, the siege does not increase your damage in siege battles, it only increases the damage you deal to the durability of the buildings you are attacking. If you are using a might hero, so a hero that uses might attacks, you want to avoid strategy. That's basically useless, you're not getting any damage from it. You add resistances, but it's not that worth. And you want to get every node that boosts your commander or your hero. So for instance, here I have a commander skill damage, here I have commander normal attack damage, here I went until I could get the skill damage reduction, here I took the normal attack damage reduction, etc. As you can see on this node, I avoided this, which increases the gathering speed. I don't care about that. Do not take anything related to gathering speed unless you're playing a gathering hero, which you use only to gather resources on the open world, but that's an exception. And here I took everything that's related to damage, so damage in rally battles and in solo world battles. You could take the damage reduction if you're playing tanks or warrior pikemen for instance, but that's kind of an exception I would say. these are basically my tips. I would say avoid everything that's related to gathering unless it's your gathering troop. Avoid everything that's related to XP. Avoid everything that's related to damage to tribes. Avoid siege. Avoid strategy if you're a might hero. Avoid might if you're a strategy hero. That's basically it, honestly. Now, two last things that I want to mention. One being that there is no commander in rallies. Imagine rallies as being army of armies, basically an army of your alliance armies combined. Rallies are just an addition of troops from your alliance. There are no rally commanders, no commander skill in rallies. And the other thing is that when you fight on the open field against other players, you will lose troops. And when I say lose, I mean you will have troop deaths. So for instance, if I look at a fight with this player right here, Falco, I can see the casualty ratio, I can see my remaining troops after the fight, I can see my lightly wounded troops, so these are troops that will heal instantly when getting back into base. I can see my gravely wounded troops, these are troops that are not dead, but will have to be healed in the hospital when getting back into base. And the losses are troops that are dead, permanently dead, and that I will not be able to recover through any means. The death ratio is close to 3 or 4%, I think, of your losses on the battlefield. Now, as for the way to get heroes, I mentioned the tavern. Obviously, there are other ways to get heroes. You can get heroes through these daily specials. That's how I get my Rani medals. And the easiest way to get heroes is through the Legendary Advent, which is an event that opens on Wednesday and closes on Sundays. So every week, you will have a different rotation of heroes. So this week's rotation is Octavian and Suleiman. You get 3 spins every day, one every 24 hours, and every time you spin, you have a chance to get medals, so you get on average 0.3 medal per spin. One of the things to know about this wheel is that you actually get rewarded for the number of times that you spin the wheel. The most common one to get is 20 spins, and this is the one I would recommend for everyone, especially free-to-plays and low spenders, as it's the one with the most value out of it to get. This 20 spins chest will actually give you 10 medals, so you are sure to unlock the hero whenever you reach 20 spins and that chest. You don't actually have to pay for 20 spins. You get free spins every time the Legendary Advent starts, and you get up to 5 daily free spins, because the event lasts 5 days, so that's 8 free spins. So you only have to pay for 12 spins, and 12 spins is a bit more than 10,000 Empire coins, which is something you can get weekly. You have to choose between 2 heroes when spinning, and you could guess that it would not be possible to upgrade both of them at the same time to 5 stars. It would take a lot more time than just investing in one of them. So whenever you have a Legendary Advent, only focus on one of these 2 heroes. Okay, so now you know everything about heroes, how to get them, how to upgrade them, what skills do, what their attributes do. So let's move on and talk about alliances. Alliances, the heart of Age of Empires Mobile. They are basically a conglomerate of players striving for one common goal, the Imperial City, which is the late game. Then you've got Kingdom versus Kingdom, which will come later on in the game. A few things that I want to mention, a few tips I want to give regarding alliances. I won't make a complete guide in this video for alliances, but one thing you need to know is, let's say you start the game in Olympia. You're unlucky, you wanted to play with a few of your buddies and they end up being in Gaul. If that happens, don't be afraid, because the game will actually give you 5 free teleports that will expire after 2 days. These teleports will allow you to teleport anywhere on the map on your alliance territory, regardless of the passes and forts that block the roads between every regions. So you will be able to join up with your alliance early on if your allies create their alliance quickly. So now that you know that you can join your friends at any time in the game, especially early on, let's talk about one of the things that are important, which are technologies. So you've got a few branches right here. Only a few of them are actually very useful. The main things you want to focus on early on are politics and Great Alliance, to increase your alliance member limit, to get more buddies into your alliance and get more rewards, more resources, etc. for your alliance. On the Science tab, you want to get the Building specialty to increase the number of flags you can get. These are really essential for your alliance. On the Economy tab, you only want to at least have one of these: Alliance Quarry, Gold Mine Farm and Lumber Camp. These will allow you to place a farm on the world map, which your allies will be able to farm. So it's not essential, but it's still nice to have only one of them at least. then the military route is nice, but it's not your priority. It should be your priority after politics and science, but not before that. Faith, it's kind of the same as military, if you want to get training speeds for your troops. And finally, one thing I wanted to mention is Alliance Funds. Alliance Funds are a resource that is quite rare actually, and that you will only get by defeating barbarians or doing the Trojan Turmoil event. So what you want to do early on is defeat as many tribes as you can. So whenever you have stamina early on, defeat tribes, because you will give your alliance funds that it desperately needs to build flags on the world map. And that's also why you want to upgrade your alliance members limit as soon as possible, because more allies will mean more people doing barbarians, and more barbarians means more funds, and more funds mean more flags and more territory, more bonuses, etc. And that's pretty much it about alliances, at least 4 tips and things to do early on, because the rest, well, you will see by yourselves while playing the game. And now that we've talked about alliances, it's a good time to talk about events, since most of them are linked to your alliance. So, see you there. Okay, so now that we are onto the events or expedition category, let's head into our expedition tab at the bottom right of our screen. So right now I only have 3 expeditions. You can have up to 5 when you start the game, because 2 of these expeditions are time limited, namely the Battlefield Survivor expedition and the Lost Borderlands expedition will expire after some time. So you should do them as early as possible and progress as far as you can in these expeditions. So Battlefield Survivor is kind of like Vampire Survivor, if you know the game. So you will play as a hero and progress in a specific area where you will have to face against waves of enemies in different levels. You have a few maps to play in and a few levels to progress in. Progress in this event as far as you can, as you will get passive rewards upon completion. And these rewards will include, if I'm not mistaken, hero experience, which is very, very valuable early on. So clear Battlefield Survivor as early as you can. And the next expedition is the Lost Borderlands, which as well I do not have access to, sadly. The Lost Borderlands are a series of maps where you will be teleported in a specific area related to the event, where you will have to face off tribes, defeat them and loot chests to get rewards. You should do Lost Borderlands whenever you can and whenever it's available, because again it is time limited. And by completing different levels you will actually get medals from 2 heroes, either Cleopatra, which I will show you right here. So you will either get Cleopatra medals or YSS medals, where it's here. So my advice would be to get Cleopatra medals, as for now YSS is not a great hero, while Cleopatra on the other hand is a really good hero. So focus on getting Cleopatra medals, they're really worth it. One thing I wanted to add about the Lost Borderlands is that you can stay in every level for up to 1 hour. So you can take your time to clear the map and kill the bosses, because there is only a limited amount of rewards that you can take out of the Lost Borderlands. You cannot take every reward. When you exit the Lost Borderlands expedition, the game will tell you, well, out of these, I don't know, 60 rewards, you can only pick 15. So of course you want to look out for the best rewards, which include skill experience and hero experience. So try to look out for these. You can get a lot of skill XP in Lost Borderlands, and it is very, very valuable to get early on. So try and clear Lost Borderlands as efficiently as you can. Take your time if you can, and I think it's limited to 1 level every day. So if you do level 1, you will unlock level 2 the next day. So try to keep up and try to do the level every day. And if you can't, then just don't take your time doing the expedition. Do it fast, even if you don't get the best rewards. Because the goal right there is to go up from level 1 to level 10 and then unlock the infinite level, which is where you will be able to get Cleopatra medals. Then you have Island Tactics, which is the first expedition that is showcased by the game when you do the tutorial. Island Tactics consists of 900 challenges, so it's a lot really. It takes quite some time to clear. And when you clear levels, you get first time completion. You get rewards for every 100 levels you clear. So you get blueprints, you get Empire coins and stuff. And more importantly, you get passive rewards. You get tactic coins, and these coins you will be able to use in the tactic store. And in this store, you will be able to get resources specific to gear. which is why gear is so affordable for free-to-play players as well as spenders, because this shop you can basically clear everything as long as you do as many levels as you can in Island Tactics. You can accumulate up to 12 hours of passive rewards, so you should try really to clear as many Island Tactics level as you can to get a maximum number of tactic coins daily and hourly. Whenever you're stuck, go and upgrade your heroes, etc., and come back later and clear the next levels. It's very important to get as far as you can in Island Tactics. The military exercise works kind of the same way as Island Tactics. You have 50 stages to clear and you can do up to 1 every day if I'm not wrong. And you basically get a completion reward every day, as well as passive rewards at the beginning of every day. And you can stock passive rewards for up to 3 days if you ever forget to claim them. These rewards include, well, first completion rewards include XP, skill XP, etc. And passive rewards include tokens which you will be able to spend in the weekly store. The next expedition is Apex Arena. The Apex Arena is something you find in every Kingdom Builder. The Apex Arena is basically a place where you will be able to challenge other players as well as be challenged by other players up to 5 times a day using these tokens right here. And you get rewards daily and weekly, as you can see here, based on your ranking. So if you end up first, you get a lot of rewards. You get Empire coins, which is important to notice. And you get what they call season rewards, but that's weekly rewards. Every season ends on Sunday. And you get a lot of Empire coins as well, and Arena Silver, which again is a specific resource you will be able to spend in the store. So if you head into the store here, you will see there is the military exercise store I talked about earlier. There is the Arena store, which is where you will be able to grab up to 5 Universal Legendary medals every week. So I would advise you to get that whenever you can, by the way. You can see the Island Tactics shop, which I mentioned earlier. And there is also the Alliance Treasury shop, because whenever you help your alliance and stuff, you get specific tokens which you can spend here in this shop. So every expedition has a specific shop where you will be able to get resources for basically free. All you have to do is participate in events. And if you remember Chapter 2, always participate in events. And the military exercise shop mainly focuses on skill scrolls and speed ups. The arena shop on ring upgrade material, as well as universal tokens. The Alliance Treasury focuses on speed ups as well as resources, skill XP and blue teleports. Really important to get. Island Tactics focuses on gear. And the Wonder Shop you will not have to worry about a long time. So these are the expeditions. Now onto the actual events, because there is a difference between the two. The events are mostly Alliance events. So first off is the supplies bounty. So again, like the military exercise and like Island Tactics and stuff, it is a series of 80 challenges where you will have to face tribes from level 1 to level 80, so it gets increasingly more difficult. I would advise you to do it as early as possible and get as far as you can, because you will get passive rewards from killing and defeating these tribes. These rewards are actually quite nice and they can be stocked for a maximum of 12 hours, so claim them whenever you can, obviously. You will get resources, as you can see here, as well as building speed-ups and training speed-ups. So if I show you here, you can see that the number of resources you get varies from the number of levels you've beaten, obviously. So try to get as far as you can, as early as you can, to get passive rewards, because again, you want to get as many resources as possible in this game. You can claim your bounties at the supply depot, which your alliance should have built for you. The next event is Trojan Turmoil. So what is that? This is an event that is set up by leaders every 2 days. So you can complete it 3 times a week or 4 times a week, depending on the week. It is an event that lasts 30 minutes, where you will have to face off 4 waves of Trojan horses, and you will need to deal a maximum amount of damage with your alliance. You will get rewards based on your alliance damage. So you can see here, if you do more than 7.5 million damage, you will get Empire coins. You will get healing speed-ups and alliance tokens, which you will be able to spend in the store. You will also get grand blueprints, which is needed to upgrade your warhol. There's also personal rewards. So if you hit more than 20 million, you will get alliance coins, as well as many grand blueprints for your warhol and resources. So you can see that you don't need to participate to get the 2k Empire coins, but early on I would advise you to participate because you want to get that 7.5 million threshold as an alliance, and everyone is important early on. Then you have the frontline escort. So this is an event where you will have to protect a caravan during a set time. So you will be able to select a difficulty here. So you have 10 types of material that you will have to protect in the caravan, and you have 4 difficulties of caravans. So this is something you can do with your alliance with up to 5 teammates in huge caravans, 3 teammates in large caravans and medium caravans. You can do them alone in small caravans if no one's interested in playing with you, or if it's too late to find anyone to play with. But obviously you get more rewards the harder the caravan is. So in this event you will have to face off waves or barbarian while traveling with the caravan on the world map. So you need to be concentrated, you need to be there, you should not be AFK. This takes from 10 minutes to 20 minutes based on your teammates' performance. And this is something you should do every week, at least once. More if you want to help more allies. You will get gems, which is used to upgrade your gear. You will get research speedups and resources, so this is very valuable to do. So the Rally Against Tribes is an event that will be available 3 times a week, on Tuesday, Thursdays and Saturdays, and it lasts the whole day. So this is an event where you will have to compete with your alliance against other alliances in your server. What you will have to do is defeat the maximum number of tribes that will spawn on the map specifically for this event. It does not require stamina, it just requires you to be present and start rallies against these enemies. This event will give you rewards based on your alliance contribution, so up to 7.6 million. And you will also get rewards based on your alliance ranking. So you want to participate to help your alliance get a good ranking, because you can get up to 500 coins. Times 3 is 1,500, so that's not something you should miss, especially if you're low spender or free to play. You want these Empire coins and you want these resources as well. The difference is not that big, but honestly it's also a way to keep your people active and participate in the game, so try to do it whenever you can. You also get personal rewards from the first few barbarians you defeat, so it's really valuable to participate at least a bit and help your people get the maximum ranking possible. There is also another event which I cannot show you right now because it is only available on Wednesdays and Sundays. This is the World Campaign event. This is an event where bosses appear around the world map at 20 UTC. And what you have to do is engage in the open field with your alliance against this boss. It's quite simple, honestly, just gather around the boss, kill him, and that's it. You just need to make sure that the maximum number of players from your alliance will hit the boss to actually get the rewards, because you get participation rewards and completion rewards. So if you do not participate in the event, you only get completion rewards, but you also want to get participation rewards. And finally, I would like to mention the Treasure Hunt event, which is only available later on in the game on Thursdays at a set time. This event requires coordination with your alliance, and it is a really important event to do, because it will give you incredible rewards to upgrade your gear, and this is something you really want, especially if you're, again, low spenders or free to play. The Treasure Hunt event is perhaps the most important kingdom-sized event you do not want to miss, because you get rewards based on your participation and based on your alliance ranking, so you want to be there to help your alliance and get the best rank possible. Another thing I want to mention, which is an event that is available very early in the server, 2 days after it's opened to be precise, which is the Giant's Roar. You will have to defeat common tribes, so nothing new until now, and you will actually get special rewards by doing so. You will get the Giant's Treasure. This treasure will appear in your inventory and will look like either a blue banner or a green banner. So you absolutely want to defeat the maximum number of common tribes you can while this event is on. I think the event lasts only 2 days or something like that, so defeat the maximum number of tribes you can as an alliance. Once the event is over, you will still have your banners inside your inventory. They will not expire. You will be able to use these banners and they will spawn giant legions on the world map, which you will be able to rally and defeat with your alliance members. So the most interesting rewards you will get from these battles are King Derrick medals. There is no limit to how many King Derrick medals you can get daily while using your banners, but allies can only get up to 30 legendary King Derrick medals every day while assisting you. Obviously the same goes for you. You can only get 30 King Derrick medals every day while assisting your brothers in arms. Do not miss out on this event, as King Derrick is a really important hero to get up to 5 stars, and it's really easy to do early on. He's a very powerful hero that pairs well with other swordsman heroes early on. I will probably do a guide about that as well. So coordinate with your alliance, defeat these tribesmen, get good rewards, get these medals, and you will get a powerful hero that will help you defeating events, progressing in the game, beating other alliances, etc, etc. So do not miss out on this event early on in the game. Oh, and I almost forgot. One thing you should do daily, early on especially, is fish. Yes, you can fish in Age of Empires Mobile. When you fish, you will be able to get a score based on how many fishes you've gotten, and you will be able to trade these score points against food. So that may not look like much, but early on, like I've said many times, you want as many resources as you can. That will also allow you to progress in your daily quest, by the way, so you should fish every day when you can for the food and for the daily quest. Okay, so we are reaching the end of this guide. We have nearly mentioned every core feature in the game. The few things I want to mention that are left are closer to the spending side of the game, so let's head into that and let's talk about the VIP system. Regarding the VIP system, there are a few important thresholds to get if you want to rush a VIP level, etc., if you want to get specific bonuses. So the level 5 from the VIP system will give you a bonus to your building speed and will allow you to get hammers in your store. I'll talk about that later after I mention the VIP system. So level 5 is important to get if you want to rush early on. The most important one to me is the level 8 VIP level, as you will get a 5% bonus to your research speed as well as an increase to your governor stamina limit, which doesn't look like much, but that's a really nice bonus and important bonus to get early on. So if you want to rush VIP levels, you can do that. It's also worth noting that every VIP level gives you exclusive chests where you can buy Miyamoto Musashi medals, which is a very nice swordsman hero, which pairs really well with King Derrick. And it's important to note that at VIP level 6, if you buy every bundle, you can get Miyamoto up to 3 stars, and this is where is the most useful, I'd say. You can get him up to 5 stars, but it's a bit of an overkill if you don't have that much to spend. So if you want to have Miyamoto and hit his power spike, VIP level 6 is enough. And when you reach VIP level 12, you will be able to buy for 20k coins up to 20 legendary universal medals every week. So 1k for every medal. And this medal is very useful because, like specific medals, like the running medals I showed you earlier, you will be able to use these medals for any heroes. So if you have 20 universal medals, you will be able to use them for Miyamoto, King Derrick, for Rani, for any hero, basically, any legendary hero. Then you have VIP level 13, which will give you the ability to buy 20 legendary universal skill scrolls every week for 10k coins total. These are the 5 thresholds I would recommend if you want to get specific resources early on or later on, but my go-to would definitely be VIP level 8, especially early on, as it is not that hard to achieve. It's worth noting that the VIP system will be reworked and that it will be easier for free-to-play players to actually get VIP points, because that's really hard for them right now to get VIP points, but it will be easier when the game is released, so that's a really good point. We talked about armors earlier, so it's a good time to talk about rings and what they do. So rings are an equipment that you can give to your heroes. Rings have specific bonuses, both passive bonuses to your units, as well as unique abilities that will empower your heroes. So you have 3 tiers of rarity for rings: legendary, epic, and rare. Obviously, legendary medals are usually better than blue ones, but that's not always the case. I will mention that later. And why did I mention VIP 5? In the VIP store, VIP 5 unlocks hammers, and you get up to 20 hammers every week, which you will be able to spend in the Finecraft tab in here. Every hammer you use gives you a chance to get these jewelry mark or upgrading materials, but we don't talk about that yet. And as you accumulate these tokens, you will be able to buy powerful rings, which you will be able to give to your heroes. It's worth noting that there's a limit to rings. If I am to buy this ring of Badger, I can only have 1 instance of this ring. I cannot have 2 rings of Badger. That does not exist. Regarding rings and how to upgrade them or which one to choose, I will probably do a guide on that as well. But one key advice I would give you is kind of the same as with skills, honestly, which means try using as much as you can blue, purple, and legendary rings. Try not using 3 legendary rings in one lineup, because what you want to do is spread up your resources and not be stuck having to use only golden resources and materials to upgrade your rings. Because if you have 3 legendary rings, you will not be able to upgrade the 3 of them at the same time. Whereas here, with 3 qualities, I am able to upgrade 3 rings at the same time. So that's something that you want to do. So I will give you one final advice regarding rings, and that is which one to actually get early on, because that is, in my opinion, the best ring in the game, especially for its cost. And that is the Ring of Clover. So this one only costs 200 ring tokens. It's really cheap, you can get it very easily early on, even as a free-to-play. And this ring, when it's upgraded to the max level, gives you a 50% chance to reduce your troops' damage taken by 25% for 3 seconds every 6 seconds. This does not look like much, but 25% damage reduction is insane, especially for a ring that is so cheap. So you really want to grab that as early as you can and put it on your most powerful lineup, because this will make a difference. Alright, that was the VIP system and a small talk about rings. Only a few tips here. Let's close this guide with an early spending guide if you're interested, and what are the best bundles to get early on. When it comes to the best packs to buy early on, there are a few that are actually quite nice and that I would recommend. The first one being the Building Queue, because if you don't buy that, you can only have, let me see, you have only 2 building queues. So you could buy a third queue for 1000 Empire coins, and that would be valid for only 2 days. But that's not worth it in the long term, especially if you wanna play the game more. So you should definitely get that third building queue. That will save you a lot of time. You will also get Empire coins, resources, VIP points and stuff. Definitely a must buy if you wanna spend a bit on the game. Now, to me, the second best bundles, there are 2 of them, or these ones. From the regular supplies you can see here, you got monthly pass, and these 2 bundles are extremely valuable, and if you want to spend a bit again, these are a must buy. Basically, you buy these bundles, these 2 bundles, you will instantly get a few Empire coins, and you will get daily 300 Empire coins, resources, skill XP, hero XP, etc. every day for 30 days. That's kind of an insane value if you get that. Next you have the Kingdom Sword. The Kingdom Sword is like a battle pass, and it's probably my favorite, as basically how does this work? You will have to do quests, daily, weekly and seasonal quests, and for every quest you complete, you will get points, which will fill your Kingdom Sword XP. When you reach a certain level, you will get rewards. So even if you don't buy this bundle, even if you don't buy the pass, you will get rewards. But you will get more rewards, obviously more interesting rewards, if you buy the Kingdom Sword Battle Pass, which is here. You can get a small advantage of 20 levels, but it's not that necessary, as the basic quests allow you to get up to level 80, which is the maximum level of the Kingdom Sword. So Kingdom Sword will include legendary hero medals, skill scrolls. You will be able to get legendary hero chests with medals, Empire coins, skill XP, tons of skill XP, many more skill scrolls, legendary hero medals, tons of hero XP as well. So these are really valuable early on if you want to get a specific hero. I would suggest, for example, Barbarossa if you get Leonidas, or if you have Richard. Rani is good as well. I mean, these 3 heroes are great heroes, basically. So if you want to have a good head start, the Kingdom Sword is probably the best value there is. Then you have the Grove Found, which is above the VIP store. So what this is basically you will get rewards based on your Town Center level. So this is something that rewards your progression. It's kind of a battle pass as well. There is a free line where you will get tavern tokens, etc. And there is an advanced line where you will get Empire coins for every Town Center level you get. So this is nice, you get a good value out of that. And this is definitely something I would advise you to get, but you can wait as well. Which means that you can wait until you get, I don't know, Town Center level 28 or 29 before buying it, as you will not lose progression. You don't have to buy it instantly to get the previous rewards, you can buy it later on and get the full rewards, so it's as you wish. Then you have something called Limited Time Bounty, which kind of works the same as Kingdom Sword, except that this is a weekly event where Kingdom's Horde is a monthly event. This is basically an event where you have to defeat tribes, and the more tribes you defeat, the more rewards you get. You get free rewards as well, but for €5 you can get additional rewards. So €5 is close to $5 as well, for those wondering. And finally, this is not something you have to buy, right? This is just a bonus, the top-up bonus. This is something that rewards you for the amount of Empire coins you get through buying bundles. So stage 1, if you get 5k Empire coins from buying bundles, you will get these rewards. It goes up to a few stages, I believe. I think it goes up to 500k Empire coins, and as you can see, you get increasingly better rewards. Thank God for that. So you can get medals from Rani and Barbarossa as well, lots of skill points, lots of skill XP, lots of hero XP, speed ups, resources, etc. So you're basically rewarded for spending on the game. So now regarding heroes, there are two things I want to mention. First is that the first pack you buy will reward you with either Leonidas or Mulan, and then that will unlock more bundles where you can buy more Mulan or Leonidas medals. So these two heroes are exclusively pay to win, I would say. You cannot get them through any other means other than paying and buying their specific bundles. And next, I talked about it earlier, if you want to get a good hero for a small amount of dollars or euros invested, you can get Miyamoto in VIP 1 and VIP 2 exclusive chests. With only these two bundles, you can get Miyamoto up to 1 star and get actually a pretty good hero, because his first star is kind of nice, honestly. For $2 + $1, you can get Miyamoto to 1 star, so I would recommend that if you want a good hero. And up to VIP 6, remember, if you want him to 3 stars. So that's it for my early spending guide. A very concise guide, I would give you that, but there's not much more you need to know early on. These are the best things you can get, in my opinion, if you want to get a head start and get the best value out of these bundles. So now, after the conclusion. Alright, that wraps up my beginner's guide, and hopefully you will have found the knowledge, tips and advice that you were looking for when you started this video. Remember that Age of Empires Mobile isn't just about brute force, it's about strategy, resource management and playing smart. Which is why so many spenders, and big spenders honestly, got defeated so many times across multiple servers. That's why, whether you're free to play or a spender, the path to becoming a top player is achievable with the right approach. Take your time, join a good alliance and focus on the long game. If this guide helped you out, be sure to like the video, subscribe for more in-depth guides, and leave a comment below with any questions or tips of your own you'd like to share. This video is not sponsored, by the way, so that would greatly help me produce out more content like this one, more guides, etc. You can also join me on Twitch, where I often stream Age of Empires Mobile, show some gameplay elements, theorycraft, lineups and heroes, most of the times honestly, and try to answer everyone's questions about the game. Now please let me know what type of guide you'd like to see next, whether it's a detailed lineup advice and analysis guide, or a spending guide for instance. As a final note, if you're looking to play the game on October 17th, when the game is released, you should definitely join Age of Empires Mobile Discord server, and look for a project or an alliance you will be able to join day one. I will leave a link to their Discord server in the description, so be sure to join. Some projects already have good member counts like Blackout, EOA, or the Empire Project, EMP. Talking about the Empire Project, and as a thanks for helping me find the courage to do this video, here's a small tribute. See you in the next video.
Strong, they charge ahead. Warriors feared where others fled. With cunning moves they take control. Each battle fought, they claim the goal. Tactics sharp, a flawless strike. Enemies vanish into the night. Precision guides their every plan. They conquer all, no need for man. Fury of smoke and fire they advance. Every foe lost in their trance. A brotherhood bound side by side. Their unity, their endless pride. Every step a move with care. No weakness shown, no time to spare. With minds and strength as one they soar. EMP's power forevermore. Fury of EMP, unmatched and still. Their strength and grit bend every will. No battle lost, they stand supreme. In war they reign, a fierce regime. Victory carved in blood and stone, their legacy forever known. A force of nature, fierce and free. This is the might of EMP. Victory carved in blood and stone. The legacy forever known. A force of nature, fierce and free. This is the might of the EMP.